everyone, it's Miss Karen, the Young Adult Librarian at the Goshen Public Library. I'm back again with a brand new box of books to show you that we just got into the Young Adult section. So let's cut our tape and get this box open. Let's see what we've got. Alright, the first book is called Parachutes. It's by Kelly Yang. Let's see what it's about. They're called parachutes. Teenagers dropped off to live in private homes and study in the United States while their wealthy parents remain in Asia. Claire Wang never thought she'd be one of them until her parents pluck her from her privileged life in Shanghai and enroll her in a high school in California. Suddenly, she finds herself living in a stranger's house with no one to tell her what to do for the first time in her life. She soon embraces her newfound freedom, especially when the hottest and most eligible parachute, Jay, asks her out. Danny De La Cruz, Claire's new host sister, couldn't be less thrilled that her mom rented out a room to Claire. An academic and debate team star, Danny is determined to earn her way into Yale, even if it means competing with privileged kids who are buying their way to the top. When her debate coach starts working with her privately, Danny's game plan veers unexpectedly off course. Desperately trying to avoid each other under the same roof, Danny and Claire find themselves on a collision course, intertwining in deeper and more complicated ways as they grapple with life-altering experiences. So this is realistic fiction. It's about two high achievers, probably clashing a little bit, living under the same roof, and how they deal with the stress of that high-achieving lifestyle. So if that sounds good, you might want to check out Parachutes by Kelly Yang. Next we have Girl Crushed by Katie Heaney. Let's see what Girl Crushed is about. Quinn Ryan has senior year all figured out. She's going to be captain of the varsity soccer team. She'll be recruited by UNC with a full ride. She'll graduate in glory alongside her girlfriend Jamie, and they'll go off to college stronger than ever. But then, Quinn's team votes for her best friend Ronnie as captain, and UNC still hasn't called. And worst of all, a month before senior year begins, Jamie dumps Quinn. None of this was part of the plan. But neither was a new crush, Ruby Ocampo, the lead singer of an extremely cool local band. Jamie and soccer are all Quinn's ever cared about, until Ruby. But why does it feel like the closer Quinn grows to Ruby, the more she misses Jamie? And that maybe, just maybe, Jamie misses her too. So this is realistic fiction. A little bit of summer romance, probably a love triangle maybe. So you might want to check that out if that's what you're interested in. Let's see what's next. Next we have Hood by Jenny Elder Moak. And I'm guessing this is a Robin Hood retake. Let's see. Isabel of Kirklees has only ever known a quiet life inside the sheltered walls of the convent where she lives with her mother, Marian. But after she is arrested by royal soldiers for defending innocent villagers, Isabel becomes the target of the wolf, the ruthless right hand of the corrupt King John. To keep her daughter safe, Marian helps Isabel escape and sends her on a mission to find the only person who can save them now, the infamous outlaw, Robin Hood, who also happens to be Isabel's father. Isabel races to stay out of the wolf's clutches and find the father she's never known, thrusting her into a world of thieves and mercenaries, roguish young outlaws, new enemies with old grudges, and a king who wants her entire family dead. As she fights for her rightful place among the merry men in a desperate bid to stop the wolf's merciless plans, can Isabel find the strength to defy the crown and save the lives of everyone she holds dear? So this is a Robin Hood story focusing on Robin Hood's daughter. Sounds like it's a perfect book for our summer reading theme, Imagine Your Story. And I bet it's probably really exciting and action-packed. Let's see what else we have. Next is Sisters of Sword and Song by Rebecca Ross. It's a really pretty cover. After 8 long years, Evadne will finally be reunited with her older sister Halcyon. While Eva has been tending their family's olive grove, Halcyon has been serving in the Queen's army. But when Halcyon appears a day early, drenched and exhausted, Eva knows that something is terribly wrong. Halcyon is on the run, hunted by her commander and charged with a terrible crime. Though Halcyon's life is spared during her trial, the punishment is heavy. 5 years working in the quarry, 5 years imprisoned, and 5 years serving the house she has wronged. Suspicious of the commander and of Halcyon's silence about her crime, Eva volunteers to, it's hard to read. Eva volunteers to serve his house in Halcyon's stead. If there's a way to absolve her sister, she'll find it there. And as Halcyon begins her own sentence, she quickly learns that there are fates worse than death. So this sounds like fantasy set in a different kind of land, about two sisters and some secrets. Let's see, it says on the back, it is an exquisitely beautiful, heartfelt tale of magic, love, and family. So if you like magic and you're looking for a little love and maybe some family intrigue, check that one out. Oh, next we have Again, Again by E. Lockhart. This looks like realistic fiction again. Let's see. If you could live your life again, what would you do differently? After a near-fatal family catastrophe and an unexpected romantic upheaval, Adelaide Buchwald finds herself catapulted into a summer of wild possibility, during which she will fall in and out of love 1,000 times, while finally confronting the secrets that she keeps, her ideas about love, and the weird grandiosity of the human mind. A raw, funny novel that will surprise you over and over again, Again, Again gives us an indelible heroine grappling with the terrible and wonderful problem of loving other people. So this looks like it has some romance, some surprises, definitely realistic fiction. Let's see, the back says, that summer she would fall in and out of love more than once, in different ways, in different possible worlds. In every world she was consumed with the intense contradictions of her heart. Adelaide wanted to be rescued, and she wanted independence. She was inclined to laziness, curiosity, and magical thinking. She was all charm and yet deeply miserable. She was a liar, and she hated liars. She loved both truly and wrong-headedly. So it sounds like she maybe has some things to work out. But this sounds like an interesting read. All right, what's next? We've got The Summer of Impossibilities by Rachel Allen. Another summer book. 4 girls, 1 summer, and a pact to do the impossible. Skylar, Ellie, Scarlett, and Amelia Grace are forced to spend the summer at the lake house where their moms became best friends. One can't wait. One would rather gnaw off her own arm than hang out with a bunch of strangers just so their moms can drink too much wine and sing Journey at 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 are sisters. 3 are currently feuding with their mothers. 1 is hiding how bad her joint pain has gotten. All of them are hiding something. 1 falls in love with a boy she thought she despised. 1 almost sets her crush on fire with a flaming marshmallow. 1 has a crush that could change everything. And none of them are the same at the end of the summer. So this is definitely a great summer book. Sounds like about friendship, about family, relationships. Very realistic based fiction, and perfect for summer. Let's see what else we have. Next we have Burn by Patrick Ness. I think I see on the cover a dragon tail, so this might be about dragons. January 1957, the Pacific Northwest, Sarah Dewhurst and her father, outcasts in their little town of Frome, Washington, are forced to hire a dragon to work their farm, something only the poorest of the poor ever have to resort to. Unfortunately, this has been Sarah's lot since the death of her beloved mother. The dragon, Casimir, has more to him than meets the eye, though. Sarah can't help but be curious about him, an animal who supposedly doesn't have a soul, but who is seemingly intent on keeping her safe from the brutal attentions of Deputy Sheriff Emmett Kelby. Because the dragon knows something she doesn't. He has arrived at the farm with a prophecy on his mind. A prophecy that involves a deadly assassin, a cult of dragon worshippers, 2 FBI agents in hot pursuit, and somehow Sarah Dewhurst herself. Okay, so this is definitely fantasy. It's sort of historical fiction because it's set in 1957, so even though it's fantasy, it's historical fantasy about dragons. Sounds very interesting. So again, a perfect story, or yeah, for Imagine Your Story this summer. Let's see what's next. Next we have, looks like a graphic novel, Superman Smashes the Klan by Jean Luen Yang, and art by Guruhiru. Sorry, I know I butchered that pronunciation. So Superman Smashes the Klan is, like I said, a graphic novel. So if you like graphic novels, I want to check this one out. The year is 1946. Teenagers Roberto and Tommy Lee just moved with their parents from Chinatown to the center of Metropolis, home to the famous hero Superman. Tommy makes friends quickly, while Roberto pines for home. Then one night, the family awakens to find their house surrounded by the Klan of the Fiery Cross. Superman leaps into action, but his exposure to a mysterious green rock has left him weak. Can Roberto and Tommy help him smash the Klan? This is inspired by the 1940s Superman radio serial, Klan of the Fiery Cross. So if you are a Superman fan and you're looking for a little bit of original type Superman, historical Superman, this is probably one you're going to want to read. Let's see what else we've got. Next, we have Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Now, Aurora Burning is the second book in a series. The first one is called Aurora Rising. I would show that one to you, but it is checked out right now. So if you are interested in reading Aurora Burning, you should read Aurora Rising first if you haven't read it. If you have, this is the second one, so make sure you put this one on hold so you can read the second one. It is science fiction. It is about some teenagers traveling through space and fighting evil throughout the galaxy. So if that sounds like something you'd like to read, check out Aurora Rising first and then come back for Aurora Burning. All right. Next, we have Meet Me at Midnight by Jessica Pennington. This definitely looks like a summer book. I'm going to guess it might be romance. Let's see. They have a love-hate relationship with Summer. Sydney and Asher should have clicked. Two star swimmers forced to spend their summers on a lake together sounds like a perfect match. But it's the same every year. Between cookouts and boat rides and family-imposed bonfires, Sydney and Asher spend the dog days of summer finding the ultimate ways to prank each other. But now, the summer after senior year, their plans are thrown into sudden jeopardy when their feud causes both families to be kicked out of their beloved lake houses. And then Sydney gets a note, meet me at midnight. Asher has a proposition for her. Join forces for one last summer of epic pranks against a shared enemy, the woman that kicked them out. Their truce should make things simpler, but 6 summers of tormenting each other isn't so easy to ignore, kind of like the undeniable attraction growing between them. It's definitely romance, definitely perfect for summer. Sounds like it's probably got some funny parts, humor. The back says, a hate-to-love romance that is addictingly enjoyable. The comedic matchup between Sydney, a meticulous overthinker, and the charming yet snarky Asher will have readers rooting for this duo. A steamy, prank-filled summer romance that readers will devour. So if you're looking for a good romance for the summer, check out Meet Me at Midnight. And our last book in the box today is Rage and Ruin by Jennifer Armentrout. Rage and Ruin is the second book, the sequel to Storm and Fury. So if you've read Storm and Fury, you want to pick up Rage and Ruin. If you haven't read Storm and Fury, read that one first, then Rage and Ruin. I'm going to tell you, I'll read you what Storm and Fury is about. I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't read if you haven't read Storm and Fury. I don't want to ruin it by reading what Rage and Ruin is about. 18-year-old Trinity Marrow may be going blind, but she can see and communicate with ghosts and spirits. Her unique gift is part of a secret so dangerous that she's been in hiding for years in an isolated compound fiercely guarded by wardens, gargoyle shapeshifters who protect humankind from demons. If the demons discover the truth about Trinity, they'll devour her flesh and bone to enhance their own powers. When wardens from another clan arrive with disturbing reports that something out there is killing both demons and wardens, Trinity's safe world implodes. Not the least because one of the outsiders is the most annoying and fascinating person she's ever met. Zane has secrets of his own that will upend her world yet again. But working together becomes imperative once demons breach the compound and Trinity's secret comes to light. To save her family and maybe the world, she'll have to put her trust in Zane. But all bets are off as a supernatural war is unleashed. So definitely fantasy. It's about gargoyles, which is not a typical monster type thing that you find in books. So it's a little bit different. You might want to check that out if fantasy is what you like. So read Storm and Fury first, and then Rage and Ruin. If you've already read this one, Rage and Ruin will be available very, very soon. And that's it for this box. I will be back next week, hopefully, with another box of new books. If any of these are books that you want to check out, you can go on the computer and place a hold through the catalog, or you can call us at 294-6606. My extension is 105, and I will put a hold on the book for you. You can email me if you want. Make sure that you give me a phone number where you can be reached and your library card number. All right, so let me know if any of these are of interest to you, and I hope you guys have a great week.